So if you did that in college, what made you shift to? I don't know if you already talked about this, but what made you shift to like who was influencing your life, or was it just your own change to say?
I don't think it was necessarily influence. It was just I think I just woke up one day and realized that what the hell you got on?
Oh, that's good though. Like I think that's a good self discovery. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't discover that. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
no.
asking.
It was
I
like,
But do you
remember
think
when I first moved here to Georgia, and I guess that was when Lenox Mall was the mall, right?
before it became a jail?
Right. And in New York, like getting dressed up like your fly gear, like I had on my nice,
Your tennis
my
shoes.
sweats with my kicks, like I was doing it, right? So I go to the mall and I walk in and it looked like I was at the club. And it kind of felt like everybody stopped and looked like how dare you show up like that? And I was and
Now
I'm
Lenox Mall's a
It
whole
was like that back
yeah,
in
I
the
would
day.
look
Lenox
at her
Mall's
like
a
that,
Let me tell
like
you,
whole fashion show.
I
I
was
remember
like,
in
God,
college.
they get dressed up to just go to
Yeah,
the mall. And
yeah.
I'm
on
sitting
heels
here thinking
every
I was
day. But
fresh
you
to
know what?
death.
When I moved to Atlanta back in
Mhm.
2008, I don't live there now, obviously, but when I first moved there in 2008, and I was seeing how the women was moving, I was like everywhere I went, you couldn't catch me not wearing some heels. If I had to go to the gas station, I was cute and in some heels, in the grocery store in some heels. It was like it was mandatory.
It
But
was
you know what's
mandatory.
I did not
crazy?
own
I dress
flats.
like
Listen, I did not own flats until my mid 30s.
yeah.
Wasn't wearing sneakers, none
It
of
maybe
that. It was
early 30s,
heels.
but I was a heel freak. Maybe work, but honey, let me just tell you, you would not catch me in public.
Y'all wouldn't be doing that in New York. There's way too much walking to be
Yeah,
in
exactly.
New
That's
York.
what it is in
Honey,
New York.
So that's why kicks, you in your kicks, you have fly kicks on because when you're walking around New York, you want to make sure
You,
your gear
I
looks
still have
nice.
my fly kicks, but my
But
fly kicks are the ones that are hard to find. So it's like, oh, those could translate to the heel depending on what I'm wearing it with. And those normally are the shoes I wear in the airport.
with
Because
that
that's
Oh,
kind
still
of
yeah,
comfortable.
walking,
it's
that
all
kind of
about
walking is
comfortability
not
now.
Yeah.
heels are
but
not
it's
foot
still
friendly.
New Yorkers. They like y'all really big into tennis shoes. Because my thing was in high school we were wearing heels. So when I got to college and we had to walk across campus, me and my friend in high school had to go buy like tennis shoes because we weren't used to all this walking. So we were like, I guess we got to go buy tennis shoes. So we bought tennis shoes because we had to walk on campus. Now, when I got with my husband, who's from New York, he would buy me tennis shoes all the time, and I'm like, "Why do you keep buying me tennis shoes?" He was like, "Cause that's what's." And I was like, "Okay," I just wasn't like when you're from Atlanta. It's really like you dress up, you kind of embed it into that. So
So it's very
it's a
interesting on
part of your environment.
yeah, so it's very interesting on what her husband still finds to be feminine though. If he's buying her sneakers, right?
He
Like,
does.
someone would be like, sneakers, I'm not wearing those. I only wear
He
heels.
loves when I wear
Listen, get you
sneakers. I
somebody
can't
that could do
stand it.
both, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have, because now for me it's all about my level of comfort. I can't
Mhm.
kick it in the heels the way I used to when I was in my 20s, honey. My ankles ain't set up that way no more. Your ankles be a little fop, fop.
I've been looking at those
You
YSL
need to do
shoes
some
going
squats,
with it.
Tam. You need to get those legs muscles getting back
Listen,
right.
listen.
I'm with you, Tam. I wore some sandals, like flip flops to church. Your lady was like, "You wear flip flops?" I said, "Sweetheart, Jesus wore flip flops. Don't play with yourself. If they good enough for him, hey,
Yeah,
get
good
you
enough.
some Jesus
Amen.
fours." They were cute though. They were cute. It
I
was
mean, I
They
can
can be
still
cute
do
in sandals,
I
I
can
think.
still do both though. Let's not get it too.
Right.
That's why I say get you somebody that could do both. I could be in some 5-inch heels one day and the next day I'm in some ones. Like
Right.
get you somebody that could do both. But I need balance now. I'm not going to the gas station in heels. I'm not going to the grocery store in heels. The only time you
I'm not
may
even going to
catch
the
me
mall in
at a
heels.
gas station with some heels on is if maybe I'm on my way out and I need to get gas.
Hmm.
I'm not doing that dressed
And I
up
don't even drive
lifestyle
in
like
heels,
that.
so I ain't doing that
no, you
either.
take those
I
off,
gotta get
Maya.
something
We've grown. We've matured. But going back to learning it, I think that when you're around high school, because we're around high schoolers a lot, you'll be amazed at how many don't even have dress clothes. Like we have a dress up day, the kids don't have dress clothes because church is not popular anymore. So most don't go. So a lot of them just don't have it in their closet. And
that's boys and
that's still your parents, because I'm gonna tell you, my son got at least 1-2 suits in his outfit, so we ready for a dress up day.
That's because you know better. Some
That's
of
what I'm saying.
some of their parents, like sometimes you like, especially when we're dress coding, like when kids come to school and they have on something that is just completely inappropriate, you contact parents and say, you need to bring your kid a change of clothes or something like that.
But some of the high schooling kids are wearing like tanks, like
the mom
spaghetti straps,
and you will see why the kid has on, and they will flip like, I bought her them clothes, it's okay for her. I said that she could wear this, and it's just like, ma'am, it's okay for her to wear that when she's not in school. Right. But in school, you have to follow this protocol. But like, they don't know because their environment has not.
Is there still a dress code in school, in high school? Because I don't feel like there is.
No,
not like how it was when I was in school.
Girl, I would say when it is really out of control, like one time I saw a girl who had on, they weren't even real leggings, they were like tights, so you can literally see
through them.
Halter
tops, stomachs. I mean, these women,
right? But how do they get it?
Listen, one thing I can tell you about this new generation, they have some confidence, because those bellies, you would think that you would be ashamed to show that belly, but they are proud of it, honey. It's hanging over, and
they don't get written up for having their stomach out.
Most of them hide it. They'll have a jacket. They'll zip it up when they kind of see you, and then they'll take it. But you see them.
When they're getting in class, they'll take it off. Yeah,
I am sick of that, and I'm gonna be the one to say it.
Never. We all got written up for that.
Listen, I have this one student.
Don't mean you should wear it.
Right. I had this one student for real, y'all. She's one of my Muslim students, and she wore her. Listen, this girl had hair beautiful. She dressed all blah blah blah. Girl, she showed up at a parent teacher conference. I didn't even recognize her because she had all the little stuff. And I was like, wait a minute. And she was like, I was like, oh, are we changing once we get to the school?
Did you call her out, Shantae? Did you call her out in front of her parents?
I was quiet. I should have told her parents.
You should have called her out.
Because I was like, what is this? I was just so.
Yeah. See, I think you should. See, that's my thing, because we got in trouble. Like, your skirt was too short. Your parent get in
your
trouble.
arms down.
And so my thing was
spaghetti strap.
Yeah, spaghetti strap. Your stomach couldn't be shown.
It had to at least be like 4
you
fingers.
You had your shoulders. I remember one time a security guard, I wore, and it wasn't even the tiny spaghetti strap shirt. It was the thicker one.
Like the tank top.
Yes, and security was like, you can't wear that shirt. You gotta get another shirt to change it. I said,
yeah, they were a lot stricter on us.
Who's gonna be turned on by my shoulders?
Right. You got a sexy. Me and my friends was like, you got a sexy shoulder, boo.
Yes, I grew up in the 90s. So baggy clothes were in. It was up to your imagination to find out what was under them clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You did not have to worry about us because we wore baggy clothes, like the girls and the guys.
I'm like, I don't get it. That used to be so crazy to me. Like, who gonna get turned on by some shoulders?